Welcome back to my channel, everyone. It's been a hot minute since I've done a review, but I am back. Today we have another sneaker review, although actually I don't think this qualifies as a sneaker. At the moment, mules are very in trend and New Balance have hopped on in this trend. Today we have the 2002N, which is a mule. It's basically the 2002R sneaker converted into a mule. What's even better is not only have they converted the standard 2002R original silhouette, they have converted the 2002R protection pack, which is one of my absolute favorites. And today you might recognize we do have the rain cloud silhouette in the mule. Out of all the New Balance silhouettes, I was quite surprised that they did choose the 2002R, but at the same time, it does kind of make sense. The 2002Rs are one of the most popular silhouettes. Every time to this day that I see a pair of 2002R protection packs, someone wearing them, I still look at them and I absolutely love them. They have a very unique, distinguished look about them. I absolutely love the layering and of course the frayed edges, this kind of deconstructed look. Today we do have the mule, so let's take a closer look into these. Just before we get into today's video, I'd just like to give everyone a welcome, and if you are new here, make sure you are subscribed to stay updated with all my latest sneaker reviews. So taking a closer look into the design of this 2002N mule, there are some major differences, but generally speaking, it is basically the sneaker 2002R chopped off at the back to obviously make it into a mule. For the most part, we have the same design of the frayed edges, similar materials, and even the same colors as well. The only comment to note on the material is that the lighter gray is not as soft as the sneaker pair. You can see that the darker gray patches are more frayed and they are a little bit more softer on the touch, whereas the lighter suede is more smooth, but it's not as soft to touch. This is supposed to be part of the kind of refined look, and that is why they have used the kind of slightly different material. In terms of logos, we do have the standard N on both of the sides, but as we don't have any back part or a collar on this mule, which I feel like is one of New Balance's standout feature, they always have the model number, but I guess there's nowhere to really put it because the back has been chopped off. One of the main key differences is where you would usually expect laces and a tongue, this is laceless. This has been swapped out for a patch of the light grey fray suede, usually where the tongue would go. And on top of this, we do have the New Balance running logo in a textured rubber material. If we do take a look towards the bottom of the mule, we do have the exact same sole as the sneaker, and we actually have the same absorb technology in the midsole and heel cushioning as the sneaker. So this should feel the same kind of comfort as the sneaker version. Shout out to Apothecary for keeping me stocked up on my socks. So interestingly enough, when I first put my foot into these, they felt exactly the same as putting my foot into the sneaker version of the 2002Rs, which I thought was quite nice and I quite enjoyed that. In terms of the comfortability of the sole, it does feel exactly the same, which does make sense because they have used the same materials and the same technology. However, where you start to feel the difference is obviously when you start to walk, because you don't have that ankle support, the collar support at the back, but that's pretty standard for a mule. There has been some mules that I have tried on and I just can't get on with them because I just think they're so unstable. But for these, I do have to say there is some kind of security around your foot that they're not just going to slip off, which I did enjoy. In terms of wearing these out, I do think that you can create the same fits that you would do with a normal pair of sneakers with these. I think they will go very, very nicely, and I do think that they will give some kind of, they'll make your outfit a little bit different. So if you are interested in sneakers that are a little bit different that stand out, then I definitely think this would be a pair for you. In terms of colorways for these mules, there are a few different pairs and they do match the exact same colorway as the sneakers. So for example, this one is the Rain Cloud Mule and there is a 2002R Rain Cloud sneaker. Also, as I did mention, they do come in the standard 2002R design, so you basically just don't have that fraying edges, and there is a lot more colorways in those if you are interested in them. Overall, I do love the concept and the design of the 2002N mules, and again, I always love something that is different and does stand out. Personally, for me, I'd always choose sneakers over mules, so for me, I'd rather go with the 2002R protection pack because I just love the look of a sneaker more than I love the mule, but that's just my personal opinion. I guess if you are looking for that sneaker kind of look and you want something that is more accessible for your foot, then the mule definitely ticks those boxes. However, when it comes to kind of the purpose of a sneaker, which for me is like walking and running and basically wearing for a long time, I just don't find in general that mules do that for me. So I wouldn't recommend this as a kind of everyday shoe. This is definitely more of an occasion shoe and when you're not doing any kind of heavy walking. These do come in at a lower price price than the standard 2002Rs. These came in at £110. A normal version, so not the protection pack of the 2002R sneakers, come in at £130. So there actually isn't that much difference between them. However, this is a protection pack, and if you were to pick up a sneaker version of the protection pack, you'd be looking at resale, which is roughly around 170, which is a lot more. However, just to add in there that the price of the protection pack 2002R sneakers are so much lower than they were a couple years ago, which is absolutely crazy for me, because when they first come out, the sneaker industry was completely different back then. But getting back to the point, these come in at £110, which I guess is quite an expensive price when you are comparing it to the sneaker, but I do think you are getting a lot for it. It is basically a sneaker that just has a chopped off ankle. It's not like you're buying a slide. Slide prices are usually so much cheaper than the actual kind of real version of the shoe, if that makes sense. It's not like you're buying a slide. This is a kind of proper going out shoe. I was actually quite surprised to see how popular these were. I feel like New Balance wouldn't have brought out the protection pack if the original 2002N slides were doing quite well. But maybe now is the right time because mules are more in trend. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Would you rock a pair of these? Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed to stay updated with my latest video, and I'll see you guys in my next one.